Hi, everyone. We're here with MHEDA's Member Minute. I'm Katie Richards. I'm MHEDA's Membership and Advocacy Manager, and I have the pleasure of being here with Joe Perkins, the Chief Operating Officer at Carolina Handling. Hey, Joe, how are you doing?
I am doing great, Katie, and thank you for giving me this opportunity today.
Well, Joe, I have to tell you, I think the first time I ever met you or saw you, you were speaking at Carolina Handling about the economy, and I was really just intrigued by what you were talking about, and I thought you were a great speaker, so I'm excited to be on a podcast with you now.
I'm excited as well.
Excellent. So, Joe, how long have you been in the industry?
Oh gosh. So material handling, I've been at Carolina Handling for 13 years, but prior to that, I was actually a customer of Carolina Handling. So in total, when we're talking supply chain, material handling, all of that, about 22 years.
Oh, wow. So, supply chain, material handling, logistics, I mean, distribution, this is your bread and butter.
It has been a large part of my life for a long time.
So, okay, so if you've been in material handling for that long, let's talk about what maybe got you there, or even rather than what got you there, what was your first ever job that you've ever had?
Yeah, so I grew up in Eastern North Carolina. Family was friends with some farmers. So my first job where I actually earned a paycheck was in the tobacco fields of Eastern North Carolina. Long, hot days. So yeah, that takes me back a ways.
Oh yeah. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. That's really
Yeah.
unique.
Yeah, a little different than walking into warehouses and things like that, but certainly learned a lot of life lessons in tobacco fields. After that, wound up going and actually worked in a pawn shop. Again, a lot of life lessons learned there, but then got into baseball. And after college and after being released and having a short stint coaching in college, actually got married and needed a job that paid a little more than an assistant coach's salary, and found myself working for a food service company in Eastern North Carolina. And that's where the career around supply chain and logistics and all of that really started.
Oh yeah. Well, also too, if we take it back to even the tobacco field, I bet you were incentivized because you said hot, long days, maybe incentivized to be like, how do I make this the most efficient as possible? Like, how do I make my day the most efficient so maybe it's less labor intensive? Maybe there's a
Yeah,
connection there.
no, there absolutely was. You learned tricks and techniques and things like that that certainly made it more efficient, made it more enjoyable, and tried to end it as quickly as possible.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Well, so you worked at a customer's location and then you found yourself at Carolina Handling. What drew you to working at Carolina Handling?
So there were some changes that were going on. I had wanted to be a part of Carolina Handling for a long time while I was a customer. There was just something about the culture here that attracted me. Unfortunately, at that point in time, they weren't really interested in disrupting the customer relationship and hiring a customer. But ultimately, some things worked out, and I was able to come on, believe it or not, started in sales here, something that I had never done prior to that because I'd always been in operations, but had an opportunity and was able to jump all over it.
Excellent. Well, speaking of culture at Carolina Handling, you guys hosted an event. I think it was February 2024, and talk about culture. I mean, we host a lot of different events, and you can feel it at Carolina Handling how close everyone is. Your facility is amazing, and then I hear you guys do a lot of give back work within the community. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So when we look at our vision, our values, and who we want to be as an organization, we really sum it up in E3, which is elite associate led, elite serving, and elite intralogistics. But when you talk about the give back piece, serving is at our core. and we want to make sure that we serve our associates, our customers, and our communities at the highest level. And so we're always encouraging giving back to our communities. Our associates really have engaged with us. They want to be able to give back to something greater than themselves, and it's something that we really get passionate about.
Definitely. I think I've read more than one article about Carolina Handling giving back into the community. So I guess, do you have a give back initiative? I mean, you guys have done so many different things, but anything that really sticks out to you or is personal to you?
So for me personally, I'm very fortunate that our church hosts something called Room in the Inn, where we host 10 women each weekend, and a lot of times their children will be with them. But they're typically people that are spending time in shelters and things like that. So for me personally, being involved in that, being able to involve my family, being able to learn some of these people's stories, my children getting to see how their hands can impact those that are less fortunate, is something for me personally. When it comes to Carolina Handling, we really focus on creating an initiative that we can get behind each year. And that becomes our philanthropic focus for those 365 days. So the past couple of years, we've done things like chronic and terminal illness in children. We've done handling hunger. This year, we're looking at things around homelessness and those insecurities that come from it. So yeah, I mean it's really exciting, and the entire team here gets behind it.
Oh, that's amazing. How do you pick or decide maybe what's your initiative for the next year? Is it I mean, yeah, it seems like you guys have been involved in so much, and I know you can help a lot with the equipment that you have, and there's a lot of different ways to get involved, but yeah, how do you decide what to get involved in every year?
So it's a discussion that happens between the executive team, our HR team, our marketing team. It really goes back into what the associates are asking for, the talents that we have within the different associates that we have here, the needs that are within our region, and where we really feel like we can make an impact. So we are typically planning that, months in advance of launching it. We just launched Raise the Roof for this year back in April. It follows our fiscal calendar. But I mean, we're already thinking about what's next.
Oh, absolutely. So you mentioned, where can you fill gaps and needs? Like maybe that's equipment or, what you're able to give there. Is there a story there, or can you tell me a bit about how you've impacted these communities or organizations over the years?
Yeah, so I think the first way that we've impacted the community is in the way that they view us, because we're not just a forklift company or an intralogistics company. We're part of jumping out there, helping better the communities that we live in and that we serve. So while all of that related to material handling is in our name, we really want to be that company that leaves a legacy of service, both for our customers and our communities. So I mentioned earlier in 2023, we launched our initiative where we rallied together around one focus, which was children with chronic and terminal illness. And we were able to raise over $50,000 for that cause. But beyond just the money that was raised, we were going into Ronald McDonald houses and helping them with lean engagements where they could drive efficiency and serve those families at a higher level. We hosted a trunk or treat for children that typically would not get to go out and have Halloween. And our service and sales guys got into this. We decorated vans. I'm a little bit biased, but it may be the best trunk or treat that I've ever been to.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
and then our leadership team, we collected over 6,500 diapers to deliver to Prisma Health in Greenville. And we went in dressed up like superheroes to really just put a smile on the kids' faces. So, I mean, you can see the impact that we're making in the community, but I will tell you, last year in 2024, our focus was handling hunger together. And we learned a lot about food insecurities. You probably saw it on our social. We had a campaign called 58 for 58 because it was our 58th anniversary as an organization. We wound up giving away 68 motorized pallet jacks. And we purchased food, we moved food, we prepared meals. We gave away $60,000 to food banks and pantries and things like that. But I think the impact came after we were done doing some of that because our technicians, after it was all over, rallied once again and they started committing their time and their service to maintaining the equipment. So it's almost like once we start these initiatives, they don't really end. People stay engaged and involved in some of it, which really helps our communities.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Well, so kind of like you said, I mean, it's all year round. It's something that just becomes baked into Carolina Handling that once you start, you're going to service, you're going to maintain, you're going to still connect with them. Um, that's really cool. I love how everyone within your organization gets so involved too. Sometimes you just see it maybe at the leadership team but to hear that everyone within your organization gets involved. So everyone has the opportunity to get involved, or how do you kind of pick? Do some people have maybe things that are closer to their heart than others, or how do you incentivize that?
Yeah, so that absolutely happens. We see certain initiatives that we launch that impact our associates in different ways, or they feel that their talents support it better than others. When you say everyone, I mean it is real because we weave philanthropy into every one of our corporate events. So we just hosted our service summit, and during that, all of our team leaders from service were engaged in a soapbox derby Grand Prix. We were racing to actually give away a car to a lady and her family that had just completed some courses and was getting back on her feet. But corporate events, we weave in philanthropy. Our meetings, we weave in philanthropy. So it gives everyone an opportunity to do it while they're at work. But I look at when we choose these different focus areas, like for this year, it's raise the roof. We know that with some of the things that are going to come with our partnership with Habitat for Humanity and other areas, we've got a lot of technicians. They're going to really rally their talents and their tools around how they can go out and support the community. So, yeah, I mean, it's a big part of who we are and everything that we do.
Absolutely. So I mean, I'm sure you have this year that you said you're already planning this year and you have next year, but where can the community expect to see Carolina Handling next?
Oh man. I know that there are several events currently being planned. I've heard that we may have a really big project with Habitat this fall where we're going to get behind some things. Um, you know, I hope that anywhere you look and you see a red van or someone wearing a Carolina Handling t-shirt, that you know that we're out there to serve and to better the communities that we're in. But you can count on it being in any of our meetings, and you can count on seeing us in the community.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, we know you will be. We're excited to see where you're next. And thank you so much for being on MHEDA's Member Minute. It's been great to get to know you better, Joe.
Absolutely. And thank you for letting me share one of our passions.
Awesome. Thanks, Joe.
You bet.